Hey guys, Cobalt here, and this is going to be my next tutorial on running and walking. So let's start with a simple definition. Humans leap from one leg to the other while running. Each leap raises the center of gravity during takeoff and lowers it on landing as the knee bends to absorb the shock. At mid-arc, both feet are momentarily off the ground. Now this is important, this part right here about both feet being momentarily off the ground. A lot of people forget this, so keep that in mind as I go through these next steps. Right here, I just threw together some full body drawings of a run cycle. So, as you can see, he starts with the lift off and swings one leg in front of the other, and then he'll have a recovery period before he lands on the ground and brings the other leg forward. Now, while he's doing this, he is swinging his arms, and a lot of people are confused about the arm swings, and that's why I drew this little picture right here. Whenever your right leg is back, your right arm would be forward. If your left leg is forward, your left arm would be back, and this just rotates. Whatever leg you have forward, the arm that corresponds will be back, because that's the way the human body counterbalances swinging that leg forward by moving this arm back. It helps counterbalance it. Now, right here I have just stick figure drawn steps of a run, and this is about how many frames that you should have in a run. Just the basic frames. These are the ones that you have to include. You have to include a period where both legs are off the ground. As I said earlier, that's very important. A lot of people forget that. You have to include the landing, swinging the other leg forward. You want to have anticipation, and then the leap before he's in air again. And this is just a picture I drew to show from a forward perspective how the stick figure or human or whatever looks when they're running. You'll have your corresponding arm swung forward as with the leg. See how it forms a little X based on the legs and arms, which one is forward and which one is backwards. And that's how running works. And right here I have a run cycle that I made. Now I'm in 30 frames per second, which is actually one of my preferences while animating. So I did double frame quite a bit actually, but just don't worry about that. Okay, so there are two main styles of running that I see. And there is... Oh, before I get right to the running, I should mention this. A lot of people just want to start off with one frame and then bam, he's in the run. You know, he's already swinging his leg forward. You just go from here to here. Here. You go from here to here, and he's just ready to run. But a thing that you have before run is you need a build up. You need him to get ready. Not only to build anticipation, but to help make it look natural so that he doesn't just shoot off. See how I build anticipation with these 3 frames right here? Okay, now once the run begins, this is going to be using the regular run that I showed earlier. He has 2 frames in the air, and then he'll land, he'll swing his leg forward, and then he'll leap, and he'll be in the air again. Now, as the run went on, I decided to speed it up a little. And not only did I speed up, but I changed styles to the second style of run, which is the leaning forward run. Now with this run, as you can see, his back is kind of straight during the run. He's running with a fairly straight back the entire time. But then when we get to the second style of running, he bends his back forward, and he stays in air. He doesn't really go up when he goes in air, he goes forward more. This is called a leaning run, and these are just the 2 styles of run that I see used the most, so I thought I'd animate them to show you. Now I'm going to play it real quick so you can watch it a couple times. You have your first regular like hopping type kind of run steps, and then as he gets farther down, he does the leaning run. And it's just preference what kind of run you like better. You may even have your own that's not like these at all, or just uses a little of them. I just wanted to show that. And now that you know how running works, and you know he swings his arms, and whenever his leg crosses, his arms will cross. They'll correspond in that way, and then when he's in midair, you'll have the arms spread like this. Now, whenever you're drawing stick figures running in 2D, most people don't do the arms like this, where you'll have one arm forward and just one arm where you'll only see like a little bit of it because it's behind him. Usually people, since they're just stick figures, they're kind of cartoony and they're 2D, they'll just draw both arms fully out like this. Let me change color so you can kind of see that. They'll just draw both arms fully out like this. They won't do one arm like this and then one arm like slightly back like here. That would be more realistic, but so hopefully you have a basic understanding of what you should do for a run, and you can try it out and practice. And now that you know how to run, you should probably learn how to do walk. A lot of people ignore walking because in stick figure animations with the fighting and everything, they just focus more on just running and punching and spazzing out with their stick figures and killing people with knives and shoes that are very large and strangely shaped, or a gun or whatever. They just focus on that stuff. They don't really focus on the more slow stuff like walking. So a lot of people don't ever learn it for a really long time. But it's very important and you should learn it as well. I just thought that because walking is kind of like just a slower form of running, and the main difference is just that you never have a point where both your feet are off the ground. That's the main difference between walking and running. And so I decided to teach you running first since I had so many examples. Now I'm going to show you walking. With walking, it's a lot of the same concept with the arms crossing the body and then swinging out slightly away from the body before swinging back in, as the leg does the same. The only difference is that you don't have a point where both feet are off the ground. If you did, then that would be a type of running, technically. Also, for walking, the crossover period, when the leg is crossing over, you're going to have a lot more frames of that. No, I do probably like 3. See right here? I have 1, 2, 3. His leg is crossing over the other one for 3 frames, and then he takes the step. I also have a point where his foot, before it hits the ground, is in midair, and then it hits the ground. And then this leg begins to bend slightly so that he can swing it forward. And then 1, 2, 3, where it's crossed over, and then he takes the step. See? And that's just basically a simple walk cycle. If you can do one, you should be able to do the other. They're slightly different, but you should be able to. And that is the basics of walking and running. And I hope you get out there and you practice this, and you should be able to master it in no time. I hope you enjoyed the video.